Jamie from Inky&Scrappy, back with our Let's Start Stamping series. I'm gonna do a lot of die cutting today, not so much stamping and coloring, but you can do this one with a stamped snowman image instead. I did this card for, we'll do a similar one, we're not gonna do exact. This was my card class in person for November, and so I thought we would recreate something close to this one. It's probably not going to be exact. It'll be similar. We'll probably create this one, but I'll switch it up just a little bit. I wanted to show you a few different ways to kind of, you can create your own snowflake paper, right? So you can do the ink blending and then you can do, but I want to add a little bit of gel paste to it. So we're going to be using the Nuvo Glimmer Paste, but you can definitely use Snowfall grit if that's what you have. If you don't have either of those, you can use glitter glue, those types of things to kind of get that same glittery effect. And you don't need a stencil. You can definitely just take the glitter glue bottle and kind of add dots to it. I'll kind of show you a couple of different stencils that would work, so you don't technically need this stencil set. And I'll also show you how to do it on some pattern paper. I can't talk today. Okay. So to start, let's talk about doing that background, because it's going to need to dry if I'm going to do stencil paste and or glitter on it. So let's, I'll start with the original one and kind of go as that is my finished card, but I'll show you the steps on the other ones, and then if I get them done before the video goes up, I will definitely include them like I usually try to do, because options are always great, right? I love having options. Okay. So to get started, I'm going to start with this one as my base stencil. This is Lawn Fawn's stencil. It's a two-part stencil. So this one is the fuller snowflake one. You wouldn't need this one. I'm just using it because that's what I have on hand. Well, I have everything already out for... I'm doing a second class with the same one I made, which doesn't happen too often, but since it's all sitting here, I will use that. This is like, I would say Stormy Sky or Faded Jean from that Tim Holtz Distress ink line. I'm just using a dye ink, so any dye ink will work for this one. You could also use Oxide inks if that's what you have. Don't feel like you need to, have what I am using. I am actually using some mixed media paper today, so it's Ranger's Heavystock. I bought it in hopes to do some wet mixed media on it, and it doesn't work the greatest for, not like it used to, okay? Let's just be honest. It's just not as good as it used to be. And so I like to ink blend on it and use it for gel paste because it's heavy duty and it holds up to it. It's just not great for spray ink work, which is what I like to do with it. Or liked to do with it. Their manila cardstock still works well for that. Don't ask. I don't understand it either. So for my two-part stencil, I take a black permanent marker and mark the corner on them. So my marks are going to line up overall. So this one's black corner, or the little mark is in that corner, so I know that this one needs to go that way. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, so I'm just going to come in with some Nuvo Glitter Paste. Tim Holtz had demoed the little extra wide rubber bands for kind of making a gasket to help your paste stay, wetter longer so they don't dry out. We'll see how it works. It makes sense in my head, so I'm willing to try it. I'll grab... I should have grabbed a thing of water, but we will paste this and then I will run and put it underwater and then I will come back. So I'm just going to take a little bit. You don't really need a lot for this one per se. My stencils kind of got a little abuse. It's all good. So I'm just going to come and kind of hit all of those little snowflakes here. I try to do it once and done. You could definitely use, paste is paste, right? You could do a metallic white would be pretty on your snowflake. You could definitely go with a light blue or a whatever your color palette is, I would say purple because that's the color palette I'm going to use today. And I don't need to go all the way down to the bottom on this one because, well, I'm going to cover up that bottom anyways. So I'll just hit the outsides here, kind of scrape off the excess. There's not a whole lot of excess. And as long as you're not mixing color, you'll be fine and you can put it back into your jar. But if you have like color mixed on it, I would suggest not putting it back into your jar. I do, this is, what is it called? Like my words aren't coming today. It's frustrating. I'm not a stroke victim, I promise. What is it called? Press and seal. There we go. Press and seal like saran wrap on there. That was my old method. This doesn't work the greatest with the Nuvo jars because they're kind of not flat. It works really good with the distress style ones or the Simon Hurley ones, where those ones are kind of that same, you know, it's a Ranger product. So all right, so I'm just going to kind of pick this up. We can set this one off to the side and we're going to let it dry. So you can see that metallic, or not the metallic, the glitter on there. It's going to dry. Glittery. I'm going to wash this and I'll be right back with the next one. Okay, so for some other background options, if you don't have those stencils and you still want a similar look. So I'm just going to pull in, I pulled out a piece of paper from this one. This is just like, it's snowflake-like. This side would work as well if you want just those little white, or the little baubles. Anything that has like a snowflake theme to it would work really well for this one. I'm going to pull in, I picked out the black one on this one just because it's pretty color neutral, but this blue one would have worked with the snowflake. There's a bunch of different snowflake ones in here. Any of those would work very well for this style. It's not, you know, overly particular. I did grab a bucket of water to drop my stencils in so I don't have to run away. So for this one, if you have a snowflake stencil, you could definitely do that over the top and it'll look pretty. You can do, this is, I think, Snowfall from Fawn. There's multiple Snowfall stencils out there. This is what we use for class a lot of times. So I would just die cut my background folder using some craft plastic, but you could also just cut it from regular cardstock and use that and then just throw it away. That works very well for creating a paste stencil. The other thing is die cuts. So snowflake die cuts. If you have some littler, more dainty ones like this, you could just use this one and go over it in multiple spots and kind of get that same look. Just keep in mind that you want to keep it, you don't want to go over the stuff that you've already pasted. So keep that in mind, you know, letting it dry and going back if you have to. The other thing is just selectively kind of coming in on a circle stencil and kind of adding little blotches of, I'll probably go with the smaller one, little blotches of glittery snowfall here and there. So you don't even have to have anything that's snowfall-ish, okay? So I'll show you both of them. I think for this one, I'm just going to go with the snowflake or the snowfall stencil. And I'll do the Nuvo again just because I have it on my desk. The glitter grit paste would work as well, or the snowflake grit paste would work as well. I'm just trying to get this one used up because it's been around for a little while. So the same thing with this one. I'm just going to start and kind of just go along it. This works, it's just a plastic spatula. Old gift cards work really well for this, or hotel key cards work really well for this. Anything that's going to have a flat, kind of hard surface but bendable, I think works best for your stencils and your pastes. So I'm just going to come in here. I think we have everything covered. And then I will pull that one up, throw that into, threw garbage in there, but I just grabbed a little container, put some water and some soap in there, and I'll let that sit. This way it won't dry on my stencil and hopefully it'll all come off when I go to wash it. But that just adds a little layer of glitter, shimmer, and shine to, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but it adds just a little bit of glittery, snowiness to it. Just kind of bumps it up just a little bit. Go along the edge with your finger to kind of knock off any pieces that may be over glittered. So it just saves you time later on. So we'll set that one off to the side to dry, and then we'll come in with this one. So this one, I think I'm just going to come in with the littler ones on this, just because my snowflakes are pretty little on this one. So, and I'm just going to kind of start at the top or start at the bottom, and we're, you know, depending upon how your stencil is, sometimes you get like a Swiss dot style stencil. You can just lay it over and then just selectively here, there, and everywhere, so you don't get, you know, a whole bunch. I don't know. So they look more random, I guess, is kind of the look I'm looking for, right? So I'm just going to start at the top and kind of work my way down a little bit. I'm not going to ink the whole thing, or ink, I'm not going to gel the whole thing. I just kind of want to do bits and pieces here and there. And, you know, moving it so it's not all straight in line works pretty good too. I'm just kind of smearing it here and there, not really worried about, you know, keeping them the same, you know, keeping all the holes filled or anything like that. I just kind of want them random. And I think we can get one more in here. Most of the center stuff is going to be hidden by my snow people anyways. Well, I could actually flip this one. Let's do this one the other way. So I'm just going to finish that one there. I'm going to try to put that back down in there. Okay. Maybe. Close that one up. Why is it when I'm in a hurry or I'm trying to go fast, it's like I make it worse, I make it slower. Patience, grasshopper. Okay. And then I'm just gonna put that in my bucket of water and this in my bucket of water so I don't have to run away again. And then I'm just gonna hit the edges again to kind of knock off any of that snow that's overhanging. Save me a step later on. I don't have to worry about it. And then we'll just set that off to the side. This one I think you can see better just because it's on black. And the other one's just because it's on that multicolored, it hides a little bit better. But so we'll set those all off to the side to dry. Let me clean my surface off. I'm just using plain water, and I will grab a paper towel on this one. Sometimes I use my cloth, but when it comes to glitter, I try not to do that too often because, yeah, my boys really love it when I wash glittery stuff in the wash machine, and then it transfers onto them later on, you know. All right, so we have our background panel done. Now we're just gonna die cut out a bunch of pieces for there. I'm using Lawn Fawn's Snow People. I don't know, it's a Build a Snowman, I think, die. That's what we're going with today. And let me grab, so I'm gonna bring in my little Sizzix sidekick. I was going to have all the pieces cut, but I decided we would go this route today because, you know, I haven't done a lot of die cutting with you, and so it does take time, and so don't feel like when I have everything already die cut out, it goes pretty quick. The fact of getting the die cuts all done out, it takes a little bit more time. So I pre-picked out some papers that hopefully will work for my intended card today and going that way. I love doing these types of things. Paper scraps come in handy very well. So I'm going to go with the top hat, and then there should be a circle here. I probably don't have all my die pieces together because you know, that would be like me being on top of it, right? Let's see here. Do I have them in... Okay, well, I'm just going to steal the circle. So there's a little circle that comes with the set. It's meant to go behind their face. I'm sure it's on my other bigger die cutter. I just didn't grab it. Okay, so both of them, usually I try to grab whatever is going to be black and do them all at the same time. So we're just going to sandwich them in. Make sure that they're not, if you're using any of the Sizzix ones, you don't want to keep anything like right here. You want to kind of give it a little bit of wiggle room so it can kind of feed into the machine before it, you know, so it grabs onto the plates and starts feeding in before the die is right there. It just works a little bit easier. It's not as hard to pull it through. And I need, oh look, they're over here, my little, I keep one of these little things by my die cut machine when I'm doing multiples. Yeah, that's where that little circle was. And we're going to run through these ones twice. So if you push it in, it's going to automatically just start. That'll help you realize which way you're supposed to be running it. I don't ever put this on my desk the same way twice, I swear. So sometimes it's this way, sometimes it's that way, and that's the easiest method to figure out which way it's going the fastest. Let's see, this one I just need a little bit. So I'm going to do this one, and so this is the little band that goes on the hat. That is my scarf piece for my one snowman. So we have those ones. Oh, that one didn't cut the greatest again for me. Oh well, he lost some of his little fringies. It happens. Happens to the best of us. For the headband on the little earmuffs, I'm just going to bring in some holographic paper. Silver would be cute on there. You could just do black too. I just had holographic scrap laying there, so I figured that one would be fun to throw in a little bit of glimmery goodness. Maybe. It's stuck. Okay. And then for her, I just need some, I'm going to have to cut this down. Okay. I just need, these are the little earmuff pieces, and there should be some buttons in here. Oh, I need a little piece of red for a heart. Okay. I think that's all we're doing for hers. We could have done a bow for her hair, that, or you know, like that'd have been cute too. Okay, we'll run this one through. And then, and my snow people yet, but I wanted some pink for the heart. Let's see if I have this scrap laying on my desk, so I'm going to use that for the heart for this one. Maybe. I don't tend to tape anything down when it comes to the little stuff unless I'm maybe running a stamped image through. You know, for die cutting, just regular die cuts. You know, unless you're trying to get maybe a specific pattern in a specific spot. That's the only reason I would tape down on my Sidekick. I'm all willy-nilly most of the time. Like, just, you know, let it roll. And we need some noses. I think we have everything cut once I have the noses done. Maybe. See, this is what happens. I'm telling you. I get in a hurry and it takes me longer. Okay. I like doing it that way because it just goes faster. I have less cranking to do. Just, yeah, not gonna lie. Anytime I can do it faster, I go for that route. Oh, I have to do the snow people yet. Dirt, 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 dirt. Okay, I think I have all of those done. Where are my snow peoples? I'm just using some white cardstock. A lot of times I just use scrap white cardstock for this. It's just, you know, and if you don't have colored cardstock for your other pieces, you can definitely use white cardstock for everything and then just marker color it or ink color it with blending brushes and your inks. That works out well too. It takes a little bit, in my opinion, it takes about the same amount of time because either you're looking for cardstock colors or, you know, you're looking for ink colors. So whichever one you prefer. I like both looks. So we have our guy, our girl, or a big snowman, little snowman, or lady, snow person. It snowed out. I'm not impressed. It can just go away. I'm not a big snow fan. I did not do... I should be able to run through like my snow hill. I have one cut out already, so I'm just going to do that. I just took a Hilly die. You could just hand cut it. Not a big deal. Any way you go about it would work. Let me see. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I have my snow people here. I'm just taking a poker tool to kind of help get rid of those little pieces that fall out. And then kind of clean them from the back. Sometimes they stick, and then when you put your piece of paper down, they pop back into place, and yeah, that's frustrating. So I'm just going to pop those out. So there we have our little snow people. At this point, I'm going to come in and do a little bit of ink blending around my snow people, just to give them a little bit more depth and dimension. So I'm just going to come in here, give them a little bit of a blue heel. Hey, I'm just using what was on my blending brush already, so I'm not worried about, you know, mixing it up or re-inking. I don't think I have any purple on that one. I was gonna make her purplish because I think that would be cute. So I'll come back in here. I'll do a little bit of blue, and then I'm just gonna come in. This is Petal ink from Close to My Heart. I'm trying to think what would be a close one to Petal in the Distress inks. Probably, where's my purple? Wilted Violet, maybe? Shaded Lilac. Wilted Violet's not. Probably Seedless Preserve, like a lighter tone of Seedless Preserve. So I'm just gonna come in and add, because her accents are purple, I think she'll be cute purple. So just kind of giving a little bit of an overlay on the edges there so they're not stark white. And now we just build them, right? So it's a lot like puzzle building. And so I enjoy it. I think it's kind of fun. But to do the faces on these, I just kind of come in and my glue, which I use glitter art glue and or Barely Art glue is about the same consistency wise. So, you know, I have both. I haven't started with my Barely Art glue. I picked it up super cheap, so I have that for refills, but I'm still working through my glitter art glue, which I love. So I don't think either of them really, they're just a thinner glue. So if that's what you're looking for, you know, we talked glue the other day and I don't know if I have a preference. I like the thinner stuff because it's less likely to buckle your thinner cardstocks, but you know. So we're just gonna pop those on the back. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That way you don't have to like inlay all of those little pieces, which if that's your thing, go for it. It's just gonna be tedious. That's all I'm gonna say. So for this one, I'm gonna build his hat. So there's little lines on here for his hat. So if you're gonna add in this one, and you can do like a reverse tweezers for this, or the crystal katana. This is just a jewel picker. If you're looking for them on Amazon, like nail art picker or gem picker is kind of what they're under. I think you can buy a pack of like one of these and one of these, and they're pretty cheap. So don't think you have to spend all the money. Well, let's see. We'll add this one, that one. And we're just gonna add maybe. I don't have my glasses on today. Again. Add the little earmuff thingies. Let's see. How do I want to... I want to put his scarf on before I put his hands on, just so I don't put his hands too far up. So I'm just going to add... You could add glue directly onto your snowman, or you can go this route. Either one works. Kind of decide where you want his scarf placed. I think I'm putting her off on that side, so I'm going to kind of do a scarf. His raggedy scarf, because I was not careful in removing it from the die. Yeah, or the paper, the paper from the other paper. Yeah, so he's kind of got a raggedy scarf today. It happens. And then we'll come in with his little. Just gonna come in. I just add glue right to him, kind of where I want his hands to be. It's just easier for me to add the glue onto him because he's gonna be on the bottom, and then this way I can just lay this one on the top, kind of, sort of. This one's probably gonna get covered up, but you know. So if you didn't wanna, if you're doing a whole bunch and you kind of figured out your layout, you wouldn't have to. I'm gonna go this way with this one. You definitely wouldn't have to cut out as many that way if that's what you know, were choosing to do. Oh, they're holding hands. He should have had his hand down further. Oh well, such is life. And then for the earmuffs, there's not a lot that actually touches the head. So I just put glue on the inside of both of those, and then I'm just going to lay those kind of over the top and hope for the best, right? So they just are like hanging on there, which I'll add glue when we get that far later on. And then for her buttons, probably should have added the buttons before I add, oh, my hand lifts up, so we're good. Okay. I was gonna say I should have added the buttons before I added the hand. Move your hand. I flipped it. Just Jamie, not thinking ahead again. Story of my life. Okay. It worked. I ended up with a little bit of glue on the back side of her hand, and then she stuck down just fine. Okay. Right, left, does it really matter? Let's say this is her left side. I don't know, it probably is. It might not be. I think the other ones I did on the other side. We'll do this one over here. How am I gonna get his little... I glued them good, didn't I? I did. I mean, I don't need it. I didn't put a heart on my other one on him. I could put a heart on his hat. That'd be cute. We'll just do a little heart on his hat. We'll go that route. I cut it. We'll use it. It's all good. Okay. I saved the noses for last just because placement. So I'm going to glue these guys together. Oh, I didn't put his hat on his head. Boop, 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 boop. So I'm going to kind of have him looking like he's kind of looking towards her. So I'm going to put his nose kind of down and towards her. And then I want her kind of looking up towards him. So I'm going to put her nose kind of up and towards him. The nose really makes the face on the snow person, doesn't it? Okay. And then I will pop them on once I get the rest of my card base done. So we're going to bring this one back in. It's fairly dry, so it really didn't take very long to dry. Now, you could have inked this before you did the gel part. I don't remember if we remembered in class to do it beforehand or not. I never remember beforehand, very rarely. And so I just make sure my glitter is dry, my ink, you know, my brush is well inked. And then I'm just going to come in starting off onto like on your mat and then work your way in with your ink color. Make sure it's dry. I don't have any glitter on here, so I know that it was dry. If you do get glitter on your brush, wipe it off on a paper towel or something before you go back into your ink pad so you don't get glitter on your ink pad. Just, you know, learn from mistakes I have made or have seen, okay? Okay. And I don't need to ink the bottom on this one because you aren't going to see it anyways. I'm going to come in on this one and add a little bit of purple. And then I'm going to come in with the blue. Let's see if we can add a little bit of blue. Do the blue on the top. And then you can go in with the blue, you know, here and there on the other if you want. You don't have to. I thought it was fun to add both of them. It just kind of ties them both in and together. And it gives you a highlight in the middle. So that's kind of where I'm going with this one. So did I not cut? I didn't cut my piece of paper right. Let me see if the other one, Jamie, didn't cut her piece of paper right? What? No way. Since I already inked everything else, I'm gonna just ink this one and call it good. Otherwise I could trim this one down, it'd be fine, right? But it's just as faster today. So for this one, I'm just gonna add this one onto my card base here. And then I'm going to come in with my snowman, kind of making sure that I leave enough room for her distance-wise from the other one. So I'm going to put him down first, I think. I think I like that placement. Trust you me, it probably won't be there when I lay it back down. We know how I work, right? Okay. He probably moved. Okay. And then he's like over glitter in some spots. So I would suggest just bringing in a block if you have, you know, especially like his arms. There's not a lot of contact point there. So I'm just going to bring in a block to kind of hold it down. Anything heavy will work. You can put it underneath your mat if you're working on just like a placemat. That'll help hold it in place while you work on the next one. So this one, you can lay it down flat. It'll mail a lot better. I think we're just going to come in with a little bit. Oh, but then I have, well, let's add some foam to her. And well, we'll just go with it. I'll probably kick myself later because it's going to take me longer, right? It's fun though. And, you know, truthfully, I could just glue that down on the bottom. I think I will. Okay. So I'm just going to pull up my little backing pieces here. I put some out on her earmuff muffs, because, you know, there's not a lot of, remember, there's not a lot of glue there's not a lot of surface area holding the earmuffs on. I am just going to add some glue onto the top here. We're going to just press it down into the back. I'm going to also add some glue to her hand, and then of course onto those pieces. So because there's that glitter in the background, you know, there's a chance that it's not going to stick the greatest. So by doing it this way, and his hand technically, I mean, that one's going to be underneath her anyways, but we'll do this one, kind of push that down, and then I'm just going to kind of hold that part there, just so it doesn't get caught when we're pulling it in and out of the envelope. It dries fairly fast, so, you know, don't feel like you have to hold it forever. And then I'm just gonna make her twig bend here and onto him, just because it's a really small area, so I didn't want to add foam tape. It's, you know, a time saver per se. So there's, let's see, what do we want for a sentiment on this one? I think there's my Snowman Like You, but it's red, so. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull in the Avery L simple sentiment strips. It's just a easy die cut for sentiments. It works well. So in my stamp platform here, I have, there's Snowman Like You. It's from the mini stamp set from Fawn. It's the little, I can't actually find the stamp set at the moment, but it's, you know, let me see. Maybe I can. I lied. It's the Snowman Like You. Ha ha ha. That was the whole sentiment, wasn't it? It's the Snowman Like You stamp set from Fawn. It's one of their mini ones, so it's like a $4 stamp set, I do believe is what it is. Anyways, we're gonna stamp that with some VersaFine Onyx black ink on some purple cardstock here. And then I'm just gonna move, since I'm doing multiples today, I'm just gonna move it down a little bit, make sure that it's gonna land where my die cut piece is gonna have enough room to cut it out. And then we can pull that piece out. And I'll move this one back in. So I'm just gonna let this dry a teeny tiny, oh good, it'll fit. I don't have to cut it. I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit before I actually do the cutting here. Now I have a piece of washi on there. It's not the greatest. It's not a very, how shall we say, heavy tack washi. It's definitely a lower tack washi. But that's the only time I really use washi in my little one, is when I'm doing sentiments, because, well, see, like I said, it's really great washi and it's not sticking. Let me try this again. Okay. It just kind of helps keep that in line. That's, you know, especially when you're doing regular die stuff, it really is not a big deal. But sentiments, I like to make sure that they're lined up properly. I probably should have pressed that on my shirt before I did that, so it wasn't quite as sticky, but here's hoping. And then we can pop this one out, and then I'm run this through again. So Christmas cards, right? We tend to need a lot of them. I've given some tips and tricks how to get, you know, more of them quicker. Keeping your cards simple, doing it in steps. So die cutting all of your pieces out. Maybe all you did today was die cut big and little snowmen out. That's all, just the snowman. And then maybe the next day you die cut the hats and the back of the faces, or those types of things. And you don't have to die cut that back of the face. You can just cut a square or whatever works for you, whatever works faster, or what you like to do, those sorts of things. Doing all of your sentiments in one fell swoop, you know, stamp them all and then die cut them all, and then just have them ready and then do it assembly style. That's usually what I used to do for Christmas cards. I don't like making that many multiples of the same card anymore. It's just not my style anymore. I think it's because I have so many ideas that I don't feel I can get all of them out fast enough. if I do them all in this. You know, I do multiples. So I will show you. I did finish the other two while I was looking for my stamp set that was still in the stamp positioner that you just saw. Yeah, don't ask. I was like, I know it's somewhere. I couldn't find it. It's because it's where it was still at. It was still where it was supposed to be at. Yeah, no comment. Okay, so I'm just going to add this one with a little bit of glue. Do I want to do it there? I think I'm going to do it on top just because I have a little bit more real estate on top of this one. I put my snow people kind of down a little bit. And I'm gonna be honest, that glitter paste kind of hinders, if you can see, kind of hinders it from sticking. So usually I put it where I want, and then I put something heavy on it to kind of hold it in place. Now I'll bring in this one because I didn't do a sentiment. I just figured I would add this one. It goes with her little earmuffs. I did this one in landscape mode just for something a little bit different. I maybe was a little heavy-handed with my Salvaged Patina Oxide ink on this one, but you know, it's all good. You definitely could pop up the sentiment on this one. I think that would probably look good, but since I've already got it this far, well, we're just gonna go with it. And I'll bring in the third one. And so here was that other one. So this one's got that subtle glitter on the background here, but overall, and then I put a little snowflake in her hand. I thought it's a felt one that I've had for ages, so I thought that was kind of cute. I have some other small style snowflakes, like some acetate looking ones, like holographic ones, that would be really cute in there. If you have a snowflake die with that paper, you could do a snowflake in her hand. That would be kind of cute too. So that's that one, that's that one. So, you know, and that's why I say when you can definitely die cut all of your parts and then come back and do different card fronts. So basically, you know, die cutting all of the snowmen out and then creating bases with them. So ultimately we get 3 looks with the same products for the most part, right? Going super simple with some pattern paper and then just adding it. You wouldn't even need to add that glitter on the background. They look gorgeous without it. But you know, if it's a one-up step that you want to add, it really adds a little bit of, you know, added cuteness, shimmer, shine. You can go in with some glitter glue and add some to the base if you wanted to. Maybe add glitter to her little earmuffs or buttons. Adding things to his hat, you have the little bird in there. There's so many possibilities when it comes to dies, just like with stamps. And like I said, if you don't have the dies, go ahead and find some snow people stamps. If you have some snowman stamps, that works really well for this type, you know, same kind of theory behind it. If you just have circle punches, you can definitely make snowmen with circle punches. I've done that before. There's just so many possibilities, you know, so don't feel like you have to have all the things. So there you go today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Yes, I had to go and download and make sure, because we did get cut off there a little bit. It was really just me looking for it, which was kismet, because I didn't know when it shut off, so I had to go and stop and come back. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving if you are in the US. All of those sales are probably coming this coming week if they haven't already started. This girl is trying to avoid them. I have enough stuff. Maybe I should just clean my craft room, create space on Friday after Thanksgiving. I mean, it would work, right? I always don't want to buy anything after I'm done cleaning because I realize I have a lot of stuff that I haven't gotten to yet. So it's probably the smart way to go. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good one. If you're looking for stuff, I hope you find good deals and all the things. And, you know, I hope your food is good. If you are doing it at home by yourself, which is my preferred method, or if you are out and about with family and friends, hopefully, you know, good food is had by all. Personally, I brine my turkey legs. We're just doing turkey legs because there's, you know, like 4 of us and my sister-in-law, so it'll be 5 of us. So I'm just brining my turkey legs and I'm smoking them. That's how I go. And cheesecake. That's all I need for Thanksgiving dinner. And dressing, maybe dressing. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good one and take care. Bye.